Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Chris. I am a musician in the Los Angeles area and I am a men's style enthusiast. So if any of this sounds of interest to you, please subscribe to my channel for future content and please drop a like on my video if this sounds good. So you might have looked down at the title. I am going to be going over a life update, skincare update, as well as talking about my family's COVID experience. So one big life update I have is that if you've seen my previous videos, you know that I mentioned that I was currently quote unquote currently working on my master's degree. Well, I have living proof to show that I have recently finished my master's degree, and I'm proud of it. Now, I do plan on pursuing my doctorate degree in the future, a Doctor of Musical Arts. However, right now, I want to take a little bit of a break and just kind of reassure myself where I'm at, get some more teaching experience, get that extra performing experience in, and then then and only then will I feel ready to compete with other doctoral candidates, doctoral auditioning students, and all that good stuff. But that's a personal thing. I'll tell you right now, your educational journey, if you choose to go down it, is your own. What I do doesn't mean you have to follow exactly what I do. Every single one of my friends and colleagues who I've known has gone down very different paths from even me. And I know I've said this a few times on social media already, but I really want to thank everyone who has been there for me personally, from my private teachers to my close friends to my other colleagues, everyone who's been directly involved with my life. I really do thank you for being involved in my life and for pushing me to where I'm at. Keep in mind, I am just getting started. I am only turning 25 this coming May, and it is weird to think about. But now with that over with, I do want to talk about my personal experience with COVID and how me and my family did get affected. So this is a really goofy story because when the new year happened, all of us were fine. My dad had tested negative after finding out that one of his coworkers tested positive shortly before Christmas. But at the beginning of January this year, 2021, obviously. My brother wound up getting sick after coming back from work a couple days after coming back from work, and he started feeling ill. Now, I will say that he always complains about how his symptoms from his illnesses always wind up being fairly similar to one another. So none of us in my house even batted an eye. All of us thought it was just a casual sickness. Then, almost a week later, I noticed that I started getting a new onset cough, and then the day after that, I noticed I got gnarly headaches when I first woke up. I also had a partial loss of taste and smell. Of course, I also had congestion. Thankfully, my symptoms weren't any worse. My brother's symptoms weren't any worse. And then when my parents started showing symptoms a few days after that, they weren't much worse than that. So I am very thankful that my family and I only experienced those symptoms. And from what I have read up on, most people who wind up getting it will only experience mild symptoms. Everyone else who experiences more significant symptoms either does have a pre-existing condition or other underlying condition that causes an autoimmune disorder or autoimmunity going on. Now, that's not to say that my family could have easily been any worse affected, but the fact that we weren't any worse affected than what is most often reported out there, which tends to be the worst cases of the bunch, it just makes me thankful for where I am. Now, I did want to make a video a little little sooner in the year, but with COVID coming down and whatnot, two things happened. I wanted to take a little bit of a break, make sure that my personal health was good, and I didn't want to get any of my good outfits I didn't want to get any of my good outfits with COVID in it, even though they are like consistently in my closet, which is literally just over there, about 5-10 feet. Nonetheless, ultimately I just haven't really felt the need to be in a suit as of late, and that's why you're seeing me here like this. So if you're wondering about things, yes, my style videos are still going to happen. I just wanted to tone it down a little bit and be a little more personal with you all rather than being in my suits. Although I do have some things coming up which I will be in suit and tie for, so I will be sure that you all are up to date with that. However, you will have to go to my Instagram for that, so please check that out. The link or the name of my account will be linked in the description below. Both my major accounts will actually be linked in the description below if you are interested in following those. But now on to skincare. So things have most absolutely shifted for me in the last 7 months since I started. I really started documenting my skincare journey in the mid to late July. So we're talking August, September, October, November, December, January. Almost 8 months at this point. We're running at 7.5 months at the moment with how long this has been since I really started taking it seriously. Is it a bit of a luxury to kind of talk about this? Yeah, but I also want to reassure you all that as I've heard from other skinfluencers, skincare is self-care. So let me talk about what I started with when I started documenting the journey, what I currently use, and what I have sitting next to me, which are my empties. Most of them are empties, but then there are some that I have almost used or barely used, and I'll touch on which is which. So what I started with was the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cleanser. Now, I thought it was nice. I thought it was a little on the thick side, but I don't know. I can't really say I saw results because I really only used it maybe 2 or 3 times. Yeah, and that was that. Then I did have my mom's scrub, the daily exfoliating wash, I believe it's called, from Philosophy. And then for my moisturizer, I had the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream, which I will show. So I used this for like the first month. Well, I used this little sample for maybe the first, I'm trying to remember, maybe it was 2 weeks tops. and then this 1 ounce container I wound up using for around another month. So I thought it was kind of worthwhile as a first moisturizer to kind of start getting into things. Is it the best one I used? I don't know. My skin didn't mind it. Did my skin hate it? No. But so remember this: your own self-care is your own thing. Use what works best for you, not what works best for me. So now what I currently use it's actually a bit of a variety of things. So I do double cleanse since I started really getting into using an SPF a little more often. I just want to make sure that I get the stuff out of my pores, off my face. Just kind of as an insurance policy, I do use an oil cleanser and a gentle cleanser right after that. So for my oil-based cleanser, I am currently finishing off the DHC Deep Cleansing Oil, and I've actually really enjoyed using it. And next up, I will be using Purito's From Green Cleansing Oil, which I will start to use as soon as I'm done with the DHC. I think I have maybe 1 or 2 more days left on the DHC. And then soon after, like I said, soon after that, I will start using the Purito Cleansing Oil. DHC is a Japanese-based company, And from what I've noticed, their products seem to be really focused on olive oil, Purito's cleansing oil, Korean-based company, which came under a lot of fire recently, but I'm not going to talk a lot about that. I stay informed, but I'm not the person to seek that information from. The Purito is also an olive oil based, but it does have other oils to accompany it, and I'm excited to use it. So that's that. The gentle cleanser that I use is the First Aid Beauty face cleanser, and actually, funny enough, I do have an empty right here. So yeah, I went through one of these, and I am currently working on my second one. I thought about getting a different gentle cleanser just to kind of switch things up in my routine, but so far I've been enjoying the First Aid Beauty's gentle cleanser. My skin hasn't adversely reacted to it, and after an oil cleanse, it feels really nice. Even when I don't put on an SPF, when there hasn't been a lot of sun, I have thoroughly enjoyed it. Then I kind of shift things around. I have two treatments. I have Paula's Choice's 2% BHA liquid exfoliant, and I have the CeraVe what is it, the resurfacing retinol serum. I switched those each night. I did have a spacer night at one point, which I'll talk a little more about. But I've been going exfoliants one night, retinol another, and then just keeping the cycle that way. Again, my skin hasn't adversely reacted. I've made sure to wear an SPF after those days. Then for moisturizers, daytime now I am currently using Paula's Choice Invisible Finish Moisture Gel. And for the nighttime, I'm using the CeraVe Moisturizing Cream. Weird combination, because one of them is for oily combination skin and the other one is for normal to dry skin. So the CeraVe Moisturizing Cream, again, I use at night. I just want to make sure that, especially with the heater and whatnot going off, that my skin is all right. And the oily combination, I just want to make sure that my skin either doesn't feel tacky or completely oily by the end of the day. Now let's talk about some of the other products I have used over time. Let me talk about one thing that I will never use again, and that is a chemical facial sunscreen. So one day I was just casually at Walgreens, just kind of trying to try out some new products. And I decided to get this thing of Sunbum SPF Face 50. It is one of the chemical ones. And 2 days later, even on the first day really that I started using it, my face just started burning. And I really still don't know to this day if it's the adverse reaction from the 50 or if it's an adverse reaction to the chemical sunscreen filters. But yeah, that bottle is still fairly full, and I will not use it. I will never use any chemical-only sunscreens made here in the States. And that's simply because of the way my skin reacts to it. I did also have pretty adverse reactions to chemical sunscreens on my face in the past. For some reason, this past summer I didn't. But when I was younger, I did have similar reactions to chemical sunscreens on my face, and now that just really kind of was the nail in the coffin for me. Though I did forget to talk about the SPF that I am currently using. What I'm wearing right now is I'm wearing the Jack Black Sun Guard SPF 45. It is a combination sunscreen of zinc oxide and a couple of chemical filters. And my face has acclimated to it. There are times where it does have the slightest sting to it, but I've only noticed it kind of around my temples. Even the sunscreen I apply right here under my eyes, it hasn't really affected me that horribly. And that's actually kind of the nice thing. And that's basically why I told myself that I'm going to shift from the chemical sunscreens, at least chemical only, to either combination or mineral sunscreens. But I guess since now I shifted the conversation over to SPFs, I will talk more about the other SPFs I've used, and then I'll work backwards in my skincare routines. So a few other face sunscreens I've used. All right, here, I'll go in order from left to right because that is how they just kind of emptied out. Funny enough, here on the left, the Neutrogena, what is it? Sheer Zinc face, the SPF 50. I did use this. This is not empty. It's just because of how tacky the formula is. I didn't mind it at first, but then it's like if I had too thick of a layer of the sunscreen on, I looked like Casper. Even some of the other zinc sunscreens that I have used, I didn't even look that white. And I'll tell you right now, not sure if you can see the difference between my face and my hand, but it might just be a white balancing thing. But being that I am half Latino, I do have a darker skin, and obviously when I do have darker skin, and then it's like I turn it into the palest thing in existence, that's a bit of a problem. But that's when after that I tried out the Elta MD UV Clear and the tinted variety too. I did hear about some pilling that happens with the UV Clear untinted formula, and like I said, being that I have darker skin, I wanted to try out the tinted formula. It actually blended into my skin fairly nicely, thankfully. And then the most recent one that I just finished, funny enough, actually in the last day or two, is MD Solar Science's Mineral Cream. This is the 1.7 ounce tube, and it actually lasted me about 2-3 months, so that's kind of nice. But I did also use this fairly unregularly. This is actually the most cosmetically elegant formula, and I'm excited to try out the other varieties of MD Solar Science's SPFs. Now I want to talk a bit about hand creams. The one I'm currently on is Neutrogena's Norwegian formula, the fragrance-free version. It's actually kind of nice. When I regularly use hand creams, my hands start to get rid of their chapped nature, and especially as of recently with all the hand washing I've done and the fact that it's winter, I think that was the reason why my hands just looked and felt so chapped in the last few months. So I just thought it was necessary to try one out, and there are plenty of drugstore options available. I have not spent any more than $10 on a specific hand cream and shit. I don't even think I've spent more than $5, if that, for any of the hand creams that I have right now. So besides the Neutrogena before that, I tried these two out, the first one being the Gold Bond hand cream and the other being the Eucerin. The Eucerin, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about, because this one is supposed to exfoliate a little bit, and it does have a lot of hydrating things within it. As pointed out by many people, urea is really good for super dry skin. But the exfoliating part of this, my hands did feel tingly from it, and I'm not sure how to feel about that. Did it exfoliate some of the dead skin off my hands? I really don't know. The Gold Bond felt very satisfying. I don't have much to say. I don't have much to say about it because I went through this thing so darn quickly, and it just felt nice. So I'll just leave it at that. Let's talk more about the other moisturizers I've used. So I have one other daytime moisturizer that I've used and a couple of nighttime moisturizers that I've gone through and one that I haven't finished. I probably should finish one of them, but I don't know. I need to think about it. So let's start with the nighttime moisturizers. One of them is the Cardone. The first one that I tried out was the Cardone 3-in-1 Night Gel. It is really nice, but when I shaved with this, oh god, it did not feel good. It stung my skin. Either it was just from me not being used to my safety razor, or I was grazing my skin a little hard. I don't know. I really don't know what it is, but my skin felt ultra sensitive after my shaves, and this just did not help. The aftershave was actually kind of decent, but the moment I applied this, nah, it didn't feel good. Then the other one, the CeraVe PM moisturizer. Obviously, everyone raves about this, mainly because of how high the niacinamide is on the list. CeraVe is also a renowned company for all the ceramides they put in. And this is a nice light formula. Feels a little more. It says it's a lotion. I don't know if it's a lotion or a cream. It's funny because after I apply this, my skin feels slightly tacky, and that's weird for my oily combination skin, my dry combination oily skin. It's weird. It's weird because I have the oily tea, and my cheeks, I don't think they're dry, but it's really weird. And then the last daytime moisturizer that I actually tried and I actually really loved, First Aid Beauty's Coconut Water Cream. I actually, funny enough, from a skinfluencer, Hiram, I actually decided to try this out, and you know what? Trust but verify, or disbelieve, but then try it out. Everything he said about this specific product, it's exactly what it is. It does exactly what he says it does. It absorbs quickly into the skin. Skin doesn't feel tacky. My skin, especially when I put it over a damp face. Oh my God, my skin my skin felt soft after I applied this. It's ridiculous and it's amazing. But you know what? This is probably something I will buy again. I'm probably gonna try out other moisturizers first, but that's what it is. Then I have one exfoliant that I actually finished. I burned through this over the course of 1, maybe 2 months. And that is, geez, I can never get this right on the camera. Naturium's Mandelic Acid 12%. I really enjoyed this formula. It has nice, on top of the mandelic acid, it does have the niacinamide, and I thought it felt really good. It's funny because for someone with oilier skin, this actually did make my skin feel nice with CeraVe moisturizing cream. But I use this primarily in the evenings in the more recent months, just to kind of give it a try. It actually felt really nice. So that's that. And then lastly, one other cleanser that I want to talk about. I didn't finish this, but I'll tell you why. It's Biossance's cleansing oil. The squalane plus antioxidant cleansing oil. I didn't finish this, and I'll tell you why. This oil-based formula is actually more essential oil-based than it is other, let's say, for lack of a better term, moisturizing oils that go on your skin. And every time, and I shouldn't necessarily say every time, but there were definitely more than a few times when I was using that cleansing oil that my face just decided to sting. Thankfully, I only got the travel size variety, and that meant that I didn't waste a lot of product, unlike with the 6.7 ounce variety. I don't necessarily think my face adversely reacts that badly to other fragrances, but for some reason I think it was just the amalgamation of all the fragrant oils in it that my skin just really did not like it. And that's all the skincare products that I had used over the last 7.5 months. Like I said earlier, I was hoping to put this video out a little sooner, but with all the circumstances that happened, COVID, being stuck at home, not up to much, it did kind of just continue sliding by my mind and all that good stuff. And I apologize if the audio isn't the best quality it has been. I decided against using my microphone today, so that way I could get this angle of my head being across from the window rather than my camcorder pointing at the window and it messing with the white balance. So thank you all for watching today's video. If you liked it, please drop a like. If you want to see more of my vlogs any more of my musical content or anything else that I'm going to talk about, whether it be style or anything really. Anything can happen on this channel at this point, though I do try to keep the focus down to the music and the style based, and then vlog when I decide on it. I hope you all decide to subscribe to my channel and see that future content. But until the next video, I will see you all soon.